Good morning, everyone. Hope you've been having a wonderful morning. So today I'll be presenting going over traditional women's role. Of course, I'm gonna be talking about men too. So, just three words I want you guys to pretty much know and should know. Feminism, which is the supporting women have their like equal rights and political, social, and economic like in every way. So, like in education, sometimes women aren't pushed to go to make to stand out from everyone else, and men are the ones who are raising their hands so much more, like Mr. Winnie had explained in economics class. Demonization, so it's taking away human qualities from a person. Oppression is controlled. So today I will be talking about my personal story. As I was growing up, I had this issue of not pushing myself. And I remember my parents would dress me with a dress, some nice shoes, and some fluffy socks. And I remember I would go out of my apartment and I would play with the girls. Like the first thing I would go was to the girls, and we'll play Barbies, and we wouldn't really go with the guys. And I have an older brother who he would go and he will play with the guys. It was like different ages, like age maybe 5 to 18. And it was like all mixed boys, and it was just like a group of girls just playing with their dogs and Barbies. And I remembered one day I was just really tired of just playing dolls and playing with the same girls. And I remember I was looking at my brother and I was like, damn, I really want to go play with them because they'll be playing sports and they'd be playing really rough. So I remembered I tried to ask my brother if I could play with him and his friends, but I knew if I go directly in front of his friends, he'd be like, oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe you can't really handle it. So I just went to him when he was by himself, and I was like, oh, Brian, can I play with you? And I remember I was just so nervous and so scared of his answer, and I was just standing there. And he was just like looking at me like blankly. He had no face expression. So then he was like, of course, yeah. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, you could play with us. I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, wow, that was kind of easy, but I guess the difficult part of that part was telling his friends that I was gonna play like football or soccer with him. So then I guess we came and we went to his group of friends, and he was like, oh yeah, Genesis is gonna play with us. Now I remember I was like age 8 maybe younger, and then just remember his friends just looking at him like, are you crazy? And then like the oldest ones, like that, I think they're like 17. He came and they're like, oh, I mean, if she gets hurt and she cries, it's not gonna be our fault. So then that really got stuck to me. As I was growing, I was just growing as a typical girl, as a quiet girl who sits quietly and is shy and like doesn't really talk to people. So then as I was growing up, I was playing sports and I started playing football. I mean, two-hand football, when it's like they touch you with 2 hands in the back. Because of course I was a girl and I'm thin and I'm weak, so I couldn't really handle tackling. So that was really my story. I was so afraid to just ask my brother if I could play with the boys, and that kind of society kind of controlled me in a way of thinking that I couldn't play with the boys. So then I have a quote here. We are teaching her that girls are supposed to wear dresses, serve food, and take care of babies. The biggest and the most common stereotype put on women. So really, they were really putting that on me, and I was growing up wearing dresses and wearing those nice shoes, like I said, and taking care of the baby dolls, which I didn't really like anymore when I was growing up. So then I started blaming society. I was like, society is the one who's creating these barriers that supposedly we can't really go and try to express ourselves as being boys or doing what boys do. So then society, I started saying society created these images of males' roles, thinking that they have to somehow walk differently or dress differently, talk differently, and act differently. And then the women's role, like I said, there's like this like typical girl being shy, quiet, and stay. It's like mothers have to stay at home and not go to work. So then we're supposed to look pretty and not do sports. So then I started thinking, as I was growing up in 12th grade, I started thinking, well, why are we blaming society? We should be blaming ourselves. So that's my argument. We should be blaming ourselves for allowing people to oppress ourselves and have them take control of us, because we're supposed to have control of our own lives. So and then I started looking for information about high position women, and there's 51.5% of women who have high positions in the workforce. And these four ladies are CEO of Yahoo, CEO of Instagram, CEO of Facebook, CEO of YouTube. So then I started looking at the men, and 80% of men are in the workforce have high positions. So then these are all CEOs of the companies that you see: Google, Twitter. There's two CEOs for Twitter. They're both males. And then Netflix, Instagram, Facebook. So then I started looking at the numbers: 80% and 51.5%. And then men just have like this huge number. There's like this huge gap between these two genders. So then I started looking at how many women go to college, who attend college. And there's 76% of women who attend college. So then I kind of went to look at the numbers for the males, and there's only 62%. So then if you see here 62 and then 76 women, there's a larger number of women who go to college. Well, there's a lower number of women working in high positions. So then I was like, why is that? Why is there a huge difference there? There should be more women who should have high positions because they have more experience. So then I came and I looked at this picture. Hopefully it looks, you can read it. So then 73% of women have, they are expected to have higher standards than men. And then 43% are not ready to be leaders. And then 23%, they have responsibilities in the family, like taking care of your brother, taking care of your mother as you grow up. 20% of women don't have support from certain parties or certain groups. 9% of women are not tough enough. Supposedly, they're not tough enough to like actually go out there and stand out. And then 7% of women don't make as good managers. So supposedly, we're not good at managing businesses. So now, as you see the numbers, there's a huge difference in males and women. So women are pressured even more than males are. So then, and then I started researching about the polls. So according to Huffington's Post poll, people got asked if they believe that men and women should be social, political, and economic equals. And so 82% of people believe that they should be. So then there was a mix of males and women in those polls who responded. And then just 9% said that they didn't believe that women and males should have the same equals. So then I started saying about just 20% of Americans consider themselves feminists. Why only 20%? 82 thought that women should have equal rights. And then they kind of explained about how the question that they were asked exactly here, men and women should be social and political and economic equals, is the same definition as feminism, like I showed you in the beginning of the slide. That's the exact definition. So then when they asked them about their feminists, they said that they weren't. Most of them said they weren't, and just 20%. And that's kind of weird because they should know what feminism is if they believe that they should be equal. And then I kind of started thinking about maybe they're not well educated to know that definition that was asked first. It's the definition of feminism. So then when they are asked about feminists, if they're feminists, they don't really consider themselves because they're not educated to know that that's the exact definition. So then the men's perspective, of course, men also go through the pressure of being this ideal man. So then with the quote, there's a website that he talked about how he was talking to his friend and how he was drunk and he kind of took a kind of saw an opening of trying to like talk to him about this. So then the conversation with another man, he kind of like talked about women's worth in society. So then he said over the next few days, his demeaning tone preoccupied by thoughts. I was upset that this man, this well-off white man, honestly believed that a woman, by virtue of her gender, owned him, sex, or anything at all for that matter. So then, society always see men as, always see women as something less. They never see them for their actual worth, that they were actually worth something. So then, women's perspectives. I don't know if you guys know Chloe Grace. She's an actress from Neighbors 2. She really considers herself feminist, and she really goes for women's rights. She says, when I was younger, I looked at ads that promoted a certain body type, and I'd always feel impotent. She admitted I've had certain projects tell me I need to wear push-up bras because I'm a A cup, or I've been told I don't have a pronounced enough jaw, that I have a moon face. When I was younger, I really took it to heart. So now we actually listen to them. We actually listen to society, what they actually think of how we look. We should be actually considering what we want, because our happiness always comes first before anyone else. Because people are always going to let you down. So really, you should be blaming yourself for being oppressed. Because of course, you let yourself be oppressed by people, by society. So she kind of states what we actually grow up with people, with models who are representing women. We see all these celebrities on TV, and we think that we should be looking like them, when actually you're just supposed to be yourself and just be comfortable with how you look. So why are you telling me this, Genesis? Why is this important? Well, if you actually want to see a change in this world, in our society, we first have to make the change. Since instead of accepting what people say and following what society's rules are, we should be doing what we want, what we feel good in. So if we want to be looking with some loose pants or some big sweaters or messy hair or wear without makeup for a week, it's fine. You should do it, because you shouldn't be pressured by society by how you look. So then I feel like we need to be educated enough to know exactly what's going on in our society and know that we are the ones responsible for our actions. And if we are society, so we kind of have the opportunity to change the way people view us.